So the candidates did discuss Medicare for all. That is really, when you're talking about healthcare, that is the issue, or that is the policy that comes up. And so Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Elizabeth Warren, they're always made to, I guess, explain why Medicare for all is the policy that is best for the United States of America and why it should be the one that's implemented. So I believe it was Senator Warren that got the first question on this. And specifically, she was asked about, I guess, the process in which we implement Medicare for all and if it will lead to taxes being raised.
Senator Warren, you've proposed some sweeping plans: free public college, free universal child care, eliminating most Americans' college debt. And you've said how you're going to pay for those plans, but you have not specified how you're going to pay for the most expensive plan, Medicare for all. Will you raise taxes on the middle class to pay for it, yes or no?
So I have made clear what my principles are here, and that is costs will go up for the wealthy and for big corporations, and for hardworking middle-class families, costs will go down. The way I see this is I have been out all around this country. I've done 140 town halls now, been to 27 states and Puerto Rico. Should have done 70,000 selfies, which must be the new measure of democracy. And this gives people a chance to come up and talk to me directly. So I've talked with the family, the mom and dad whose daughter's been diagnosed with cancer. I have talked to the young woman whose mother has just been diagnosed with diabetes. I've talked to the young man who has MS. And here's the thing about all of them. They all had great health insurance right at the beginning. But then they found out when they really needed it, when the costs went up, that the insurance company pulled the rug out from underneath them, and they were left with nothing. Look, the way I see this, it is hard enough to get a diagnosis that your child has cancer, to think about the changes in your family if your mom's got diabetes, or what it means for your life going forward if you've been diagnosed with MS. But what you shouldn't have to worry about is how you're going to pay for your health care after that.
Senator Warren, to be clear, Senator Sanders acknowledges he's going to raise taxes on the middle class to pay for Medicare for all. You've endorsed his plan. Should you acknowledge it too?
So the way I see this, it is about what kinds of costs middle-class families are going to face. So let me be clear on this. Costs will go up for the wealthy, they will go up for big corporations, and for middle-class families, they will go down. I will not sign a bill into law that does not lower costs for middle-class families.
You know, my immediate reaction to listening to Warren's answer, actually her two answers, because
No, it was
the
one answer.
moderator.
It was one answer.
Well, yeah.
One answer.
Two times.
Yes.
Yeah. My initial reaction was, boo! Get off the stage! Like, she can't even answer the question. It's a very specific question. Bernie has already said that, yes, taxes will be raised, not just on the wealthy, but on the middle class as well. Now, with that will come no out-of-pocket expenses. It will lead to a better situation for everybody, actually. But Warren does not seem to be able to admit the same thing. Now, she has not put forward her own healthcare policy. She says that Bernie's policy is the one that she's going with. His specific Medicare for all bill. That's the one that she's signing on to. That's the one that she wants to implement. So if that's the one that she wants to implement, and everybody knows the pathway forward to do it, and it does involve raising taxes on the middle class as well, then your reluctance to say that says what? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't say that, then either I guess I'm left to assume that maybe you don't know, which
First of all, if she doesn't know, that's slack.
No, that's
and I don't
slack.
believe for a second she's slack.
No. So then it would either be that or let me see. She doesn't want to say. She doesn't want to say for some reason.
Well,
Maybe she feels like it would be
because-
used against her.
Not just that. It would be used against her because it would be seen as a commitment.
Yes.
But why wouldn't you want to commit to something that you are for, something that you advocate for? Why wouldn't you want to make a commitment? To me, that says, that strongly suggests that she is not really for Bernie's plan.
That she
Because
has no intention of
all
actually
she did
doing
was filibuster the whole
Right.
time. That's why we said it was one answer, two times.
Yeah. And so because of that answer, because of her reluctance to actually respond to the question specifically, give a specific answer, she opens herself up to criticism. So the next candidate that talked about this issue was Pete Buttigieg. And so here's what he had to say.
Mayor Buttigieg, you say Senator Warren has been, quote, evasive about how she's going to pay for Medicare for all. What's your response?
Well, we heard it tonight, a yes or no question that didn't get a yes or no answer. Look, this is why people here in the Midwest are so frustrated with Washington in general and Capitol Hill in particular. Your signature, Senator, is to have a plan for everything, except this. No plan has been laid out to explain how a multi-trillion-dollar hole in this Medicare for All plan that Senator Warren is putting forward is supposed to get filled in. And the thing is, we really can deliver health care for every American and move forward with the boldest, biggest transformation since the inception of Medicare itself. But the way to do it without a giant multi-trillion-dollar hole and without having to avoid a yes or no question is Medicare for all who want it. We take a version of Medicare, we let you access it if you want to, and if you prefer to stay on your private plan, you can do that too. That is what most Americans want. Medicare for all who want it, trusting you to make the right decision for your health care and for your family, and it can be delivered
Thank you, Mayor.
without an increase
Senator,
on
your
middle-class
response?
taxes.
So let's be clear. Whenever someone hears the term Medicare for all who want it, understand what that really means. It's Medicare for all who can afford it. And that's the problem we've got. Medicare for all is the gold standard. It is the way we get health care coverage for every single American, including the family whose child's been diagnosed with cancer, including the person who's just gotten an MS diagnosis. That's how we make sure that everyone gets health care. We can pay for this. I've laid out the basic principles. Costs are going to go up for the wealthy. They're going to go up for big corporations. They will not go up for middle-class families, and I will not sign a bill into law that raises their costs, because costs are what people care about. I've been studying this, for the biggest part of my life.
Thank you, Senator.
Why people go
can the
bankrupt.
mayor respond?
Sure.
I don't think the American people are wrong when they say that what they want is a choice. And the choice of Medicare for all who want it, which is affordable for everyone because we make sure that the subsidies are in place, allows you to get that health care. It's just better than Medicare for all, whether you want it or not. And I don't understand why you believe the only way to deliver affordable coverage to everybody is to obliterate private plans, kicking 150 million Americans off of their insurance in 4 short years when we could achieve that same big, bold goal. And once again, we got to be president. We're competing to be president for the day after Trump. Our country will be horrifyingly polarized, even more than now. After everything we've been through, after everything we are about to go through, this country will be even more divided. Why unnecessarily divide this country over healthcare when there's a better way to deliver coverage for all?
Senator,
I don't know which one of those two candidates is the most wrong. They're both right in a way. Buttigieg asked a valid question.
Yeah, you did.
I will say it was valid.
And she opened herself up to it.
She opened herself up to it. Now, the rest of the debate, wasn't really happy with Buttigieg. He was more like a troll, but this was a valid question. And she did the same thing. So she gave the same answer for the third time. She just talked about cost. She didn't talk about taxes. All she had to say was, hey, if you're paying like $5,000 or, $8,000 in insurance premiums in a month, that will go away. That will go away. Maybe your taxes
it'll go down.
Go down, and maybe your taxes go up $500 or $1,000. That's a net win for families. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
But she doesn't want to talk about taxes whatsoever. Again, she opens herself up to this criticism. So Pete Buttigieg, who I do not agree with on this issue, he was definitely right to criticize her on that and say that, look, you have all these other plans that are so specific, but on this one issue, for some reason, you failed to be specific. You failed to actually lay out your idea and your plan and how exactly this is going to be implemented. Now, again, that's the only thing good I will say about Pete Buttigieg's argument, because he is for Medicare for all who want it. And the positive thing that Elizabeth Warren said was that It's actually Medicare for all who can afford it, which is absolutely right, because even with Medicare that we have right now, it's still expensive. Medicare right now is a good program for seniors and people that are disabled, but it's still expensive. It's not just the reason why there are supplemental programs like Medicare supplemental programs and Medicare Advantage is because Medicare just in itself cannot work just for everybody. For wealthy people, yeah, it's fine. But for people that are living in poverty, Medicare is expensive as hell, including prescription drug coverage and all of that. It's very expensive. So it's absolutely the case that Elizabeth Warren made, in which it is still going to be Medicare for all who can afford it. We need something to eliminate out-of-pocket expenses so that everybody can actually access healthcare, can actually see their doctor, can go to the hospital and not come out bankrupted. Another part of this discussion, or another part of Pete Buttigieg's argument, is that in implementing Medicare for all, you will kick 150 million people off of their health care.
You mean their health insurance?
Well, he said health care.
Okay. You sure?
He said
I'm pretty
healthcare,
sure he said health insurance, right?
Did he? Okay, I think I heard health care.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, maybe he meant health insurance.
He's trying to portray something. And this is the interesting thing about this, right? Because they all, everybody that is not for Medicare for all, basically everybody on that stage except for Bernie Sanders. I will not include Elizabeth Warren in this argument, but everybody on that stage is for something other than Medicare for all. And all of them seem to want to preserve choice in the United States of America. They want to give people choice, right? And so the 150 million people that he's talking about that are on healthcare, he's talking about employer coverage, right? Isn't he talking about employer coverage? He's talking about employer coverage, right? Hey, these people that have these employer coverage, these union-backed plans, stuff like that they have negotiated for, and this and that. Hey, we want to preserve their choice. Do they have choice, really? The employers made the choice to decide what plan they were going to give to their employees. It's not like the employees were like, you know what? Hey,
true.
boss, you know what? I think I want Blue Cross this year. Can you get us Blue Cross?
Maybe Cobra?
You know what?
Maybe
Yeah,
Cobra.
United Healthcare. Maybe some Aetna this year. You know what? I'm gonna decide for you. We're gonna decide as employees, and we're gonna give it to you. Okay, that's our choice. That's not the case whatsoever. The employer makes the choice. Employees don't have any choice whatsoever. They get to decide how much they want to spend.
I remember when my job sent me that packet. It is what it was. It is what it was. Like, that packet had our choices already laid out for us, and we just chose what plan we wanted.
Exactly.
From that particular company. That's
Yes.
it. We didn't say like, hey, the company I used to work for, I'm not going to name, but I know that enrollment period is coming soon. This is like, I guess this is me talking to my district manager or my regional manager. It's like, hey, I know enrollment is coming soon. I was just inquiring about whether some of the employees that I manage can have more options than last year. And I'm gonna take kind of like a little straw poll, and so maybe we could decide which companies we think should provide us insurance this year, this enrollment period. That shit don't happen.
That never happens. So what choice are you trying to preserve, really? This is a fallacy. This is a phony argument.